Today for our lesson with Alf, you're going to need your Alf book. And after that, practice page 22. You'll need a pencil and your listening ears on. We will be using page 7 from your Alf book.
Meet the Super Kids. Student Book, Unit 4, page 7. Listen carefully and follow my directions. When you hear this sound, your teacher will pause this recording so you have time to mark your answer.
Hi, Alf. Hi, Alf. Hi, Cass. Hi, Oswald. Hello, Golly. What are you doing, Alf? What's all this stuff? Oh, nothing much.
What do you mean, nothing much? You've got a deep-sea diver mask, a backpack, a canoe paddle, a tent, a camera, a snow jacket.
Well, all of this equipment is for adventuring.
Adventuring?
I was just sitting here, thinking about all the different places I would like to go and see, and all of the trips I would like to take, and all the adventures I would like to have.
If you could go anywhere in the whole wide world right now, where would you go?
Well, let's see. It would be a super adventure to be paddling slowly down the Amazon River in a canoe. The jungle is hot, and the leaves on the trees are big and green.
And there are some odd animals there for sure. Alligators and parrots and...
We could climb the trees and pick bananas and berries. And big, beautiful flowers that smell great. Oh, it would be wonderful to visit the Amazon.
Look at the picture of Alf in a canoe on the Amazon River. Amazon. Does Amazon begin with the sound A? If your answer is yes, write uppercase A on the lines next to the picture. If your answer is no, mark an X on the lines.
So we need to figure out if the word Amazon starts with this letter A. Say Amazon. Did you hear A and the letter A at the beginning? Yes. So we are going to write an uppercase letter A on the handwriting lines.
Now look at the picture of Alf on a dog sled.
For our next adventure, we should go to the North Pole. It's so cold up there, we'll have to bundle up in warm parkas. We'll have to put on boots and gloves to keep from freezing. Brrr!
We can zip along over the snow and ice in a dog sled. We could go ice fishing, though. We'll have to make a hole in the ice and drop our fishing lines down to the water. Maybe we'll see a polar bear.
Or some seals. The North Pole would be cold, but I'd still like to go there.
North. Does north begin with the sound A? If your answer is yes, write uppercase A on the lines next to the picture. If your answer is no, mark an X on the lines.
Say north. Did you hear uppercase A at the beginning of north? No. So we are going to put X on the lines.
Now look at the picture of Alf underwater with fish, turtles, and an octopus.
Oswald, if you want to see lots of fish, a place to visit is the Pacific Ocean. It's got millions of fish and sea plants and turtles. We'll put on diver suits and explore rocks and caves under the water.
Maybe an octopus will squirt black ink at us. If we could see an 8-legged octopus swimming in the sea, the Pacific Ocean would be a great place to be.
Pacific. Does Pacific begin with the sound A? If your answer is yes, write uppercase A on the lines next to the picture. If your answer is no, mark an X on the lines.
Say Pacific. Does Pacific sound like Al? No.
Now look at the picture of Alf and the elephants.
After we see all the 8-legged octopuses we want to see, we should go to Africa. We'll go on a safari to see animals that live on land.
A safari?
Yep, safari is a name for a trip where you look for animals. On a safari in Africa, you will see lions and elephants and leopards.
We'll sleep in tents and toast marshmallows over a campfire. We'll take pictures of all the animals we see.
We'll have a super adventure in Africa.
Africa. Does Africa begin with the sound A? If your answer is yes, write uppercase A on the lines next to the picture. If your answer is no, mark an X on the lines.
Say Africa. Do you hear letter A and at the beginning of the word Africa? Yes, so we are going to make an uppercase A that starts at the pink line and slides down and then crosses at the yellow line.
Now look at the picture of Alf riding a camel.
After our safari, we can go to the Sahara Desert. The Sahara is a huge, huge desert. There's sand just as far as you can see. The sun beats down, and there are almost no trees to give us shade. It's very dry in the desert. There is very little water because it almost never rains.
We'll get very thirsty. We'll have to carry canteens filled with cool water. We can ride on tall camels across the hot sand. Camels don't need a lot of water, so they don't mind the dry desert.
Maybe we'll find an oasis. That's a place in the desert where there are trees and water. We can rest there for a while because we'll get tired and thirsty going across the desert.
Sahara. Does Sahara begin with the sound A? If your answer is yes, write uppercase A on the lines next to the picture. If your answer is no, mark an X on the lines.
Say Sahara. Does Sahara start like A? No. So we're going to make an X.
Now look at the picture of Alf eating an apple and wearing a backpack.
When we get back from the hot Sahara Desert, it would be a nice change to go for a hike in the cool, shady woods along the Appalachian Trail. We'll walk along next to a little stream and sleep under a big pine tree.
Pine tree smells so good. We can listen to the birds and watch for squirrels and rabbits. Maybe if we're quiet, we'll see some deer or a prickly porcupine.
I'll bring some apples in my backpack. We can have a snack while we sit on a hill and watch the sun go down.
Ah, what a nice trip. Yeah, a hike on the Appalachian Trail would be fun.
Appalachian. Does Appalachian begin with the sound A? If your answer is yes, write uppercase A on the lines next to the picture. If your answer is no, mark an X on the lines.
Say Appalachian. Does Appalachian start with the sound A and the letter A? Yes, it does. Now we're going to check our answers. So get your checking finger ready.
Let's check your answers. You should have written uppercase A on the lines next to these three pictures. Alf in a canoe, Alf and the elephants, and Alf wearing a backpack. You should have marked an X on the lines next to these three pictures. Alf on a dog sled, Alf underwater, and Alf on a camel.
Now it's time to grab practice page 22. I want to see if you are really learning a lot of the words that start with the letter A and the sound A. Instead of using our uppercase letter A for this page, we're going to use our lowercase letter A. So start by putting your name on the top. Once your name is on the top, I'm going to tell you what each of the pictures are, and you need to listen for that a sound. Then I'd like you to pause the video so you can do the page on your own, and when you're done, you can come back and check your answers with me. So here we have an ant, and you should echo me, so say ant. Axe. Apple. Goat. Cow. Girl. Anteater. Astronaut. Alligator. So now you need to write the lowercase letter that you hear at the beginning of each one of those words. There will be a lot of lowercase letter A's that you hear, but there might be some other letters that we know. So make sure you listen carefully. Pause the video so you can finish on your own. Now that you've put down all of your answers, let's check and see how you did. I forgot to trace the lowercase letter A here. I just realized that, but you should trace that because ant starts with A. Axe starts with a lowercase a. Apple starts with an A. Goat starts with a G. Cow starts with a C. Girl starts with a G. Anteater starts with an A. Astronaut starts with an A. Alligator starts with an A. Remember, if there are any that you need to fix, you should pause, erase, and write the correct letter. Great job today.